Welcome back to Fire Emblem Echoes. I know it hasn't been that long since we've seen Celica, but it feels like it's been a hot minute since we've played as her. And also, Paula and Katria have been on the space forever. Let's see how they're doing.
Quiet, everyone. That must be Garth and his men. Probably best to avoid them. Let's go around that way. But Celica, look! Huh? More of Greith's thugs, I take it?
Well, give the little girl a prize. You're pretty smart for a foreign lass. In that case, might be ye also know how much coin a pair like you could fetch.
Katria, keep your wits about you and do not leave my side. It's those sisters. Oh, cripes, Celica. What do we do? Well, we sure can't leave them to this rabble. Let's go, everyone.
Alright, so we've got to help those... If you've played Fire Emblem, familiar faces. For Celica, these two are just, Pegasus Knights that we gotta help out. So Paul and Katria will do okay on their own, but there's a lot of guys, and we just want to make sure they're okay. I mean, there's an archer over there, and maybe Garth's actually tough. He looks kind of tough. He looks kind of strong. So we do have the advantage in that we've got two pretty highly promoted characters who are mostly going to be over here. This, however, is also the introduction to Sands.
Oh, I hate that.
So, yeah, welcome to Fire Emblem Guidance version of Deserts. This is not going to be fun. It's not the entire map this time, but those very distinctly sandy panels are going to be your worst enemy. So, normally in Fire Emblem, mages can actually move pretty well in sand. Desert tiles impede movement a lot for everybody except flyers and mages, and the reason being for mages is usually they wear looser clothing, so it's easier for them to move about in the deserts, but other units, especially ones on horses, just have the worst time getting through deserts. And normally deserts are a pain in the ass. However, only Pegasus Knights can really get through deserts without being impeded in this game. Mages, they still can't get through desert tiles easily. It sucks.
I wonder if that's because the desert map is with Celica, whose party is filled with mages.
Yeah, they would have a distinct advantage and would not have to care all that much. If they could move normally, if the mages could move normally through desert, that would basically just be a fuck you to Saber and Kamui and Valbar. For now, at least, it only serves as sort of a separation. You're going to want to keep your units on whatever side they start on, because they cannot easily get to the other side, so have your Pegasus Knight saving party on the right side. That's going to be my pre-promotes here. And also Jenny, but, she might be needed for emergency healing. And all the boss fighters, they can be over there. Anybody who may or may not need experience from a boss, you can take Garth. So anyway, since we have introduced Paula and Katria, let's go over voice actors real quick. And I do mean quick because Paula is voiced by Alexis Tipton, who's the voice of Claire. We've talked about her already. Hooray! Let's work for us. Alexis Tipton, if you'll recall, is the one who voices a lot of anime characters in basically every anime that I haven't seen. I don't recognize most of her roles, but yeah. Here she is again. She's pulling double duty for two different Pegasus Knights. And the other voice actress has not had many roles. It is Connor Kelly Eiding. Yes, related to Paul Eiding.
Oh.
She's the daughter of Paul Eiding. She hasn't had many roles, though. In fact, most of her roles are actually in Fire Emblem. She, of course, is the voice of Katria here and in Fire Emblem Heroes. She is also the voice of Felicia and Setsuna from Fire Emblem Fates, and of course, in the Heroes versions as well. And in addition, her Heroes Only role is Marissa from Sacred Stones. And the only other voice role I could find for her was actually Operator 210 from Nier Automata, so...
that was that 2B's operator or 9S's operator?
I do not remember.
Well, shit.
I just remember 2B's operator was low-key crushing on her. I don't remember if that was her, though. I don't think it was. It might be 9S. I think it might be 9S.
Anyways, while we're talking about voice actors, I want to correct something I said in an earlier episode. I referred to Kate Higgins as the current voice of Tails. That's not correct. The current voice of Tails is Colleen O'Shaughnessy. She's the one that got on the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 poster.
I will probably have fixed that in post anyway, or mentioned it in post anyway, but yeah, it's also here.
I want to make sure our audience knows that I figured this out on my own.
It's weird how recently the cast has changed.
You know what else is weird? Mike Pollock is still there. He has survived 2 voice actor purges.
Mm-hmm. He's just that good.
I suppose that's the benefits of just actually being Eggman in real life.
I guess he has the master plan, and the master plan is how to avoid getting thrown out by Sega. the cruel, unfeeling CEOs of Sega.
God, who else survived the purge?
I feel like one of the voice actors I've mentioned for Sonic actually did. I don't think Vector's changed recently.
The Vector not changing is funny to me.
But yeah, I don't remember the current voice of the Sonic games as much, because they haven't been utilized is the thing.
Yeah, has Sonic spoken since Roger got fired?
I don't think so. Is he not the voice anymore? I don't remember who it could be now is the thing.
I'm pretty sure he got let go, but that might be me misremembering because I don't know what the fuck.
If he was, it was recent, and there hasn't really been another Sonic game since. The last big one was Forces.
There have been 3 Sonic voice actor purges. I can't keep up with who got fired in each of them.
I know, it sucks.
The first one was the easiest to keep track of because they just swapped everybody for the 4Kids actors from Sonic X. And that's probably the most tolerable voice actor purge in hindsight.
Okay, so I've seen clips of Sonic X recently, so I will say the 4Kids actors actually did improve over time, because hearing the early Shadow from Jason Griffith, it's okay, that is just Sonic, but slightly more gravelly. But yeah, I think they did fine, and then eventually they purged them all for, I think Sonic Free Riders was the game that kind of showed off the voice actors, in addition to just being, a Kinect game that they could sell.
It was surprisingly quick. There weren't that many games where the Sonic VAs were the 4Kids actors. It can be kind of hard to keep track, as Mike Pollock, as we mentioned, never left.
It feels like it was more, though, because, again, Sonic Free Riders is where they changed them all out, and then we had, Sonic Generations and Sonic Forces were the voiced games. And, I remember the voices a little more because of Generations, do not remember Free Riders at all. But, Generations I kind of remember. By which I mostly mean I just remember Shadow going, "You got this, Sonic!"
You don't remember every voice clip for that looks like a homing shot?
Weirdly enough, those all bleed together. But anyway, all that is to say, finally, a voice actress I know every role of. Because Connor Ellie Kiting only voiced Fire Emblem characters and one Nier Automata character.
Yeah, this is a Fire Emblem Let's Play, right?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Sonic?
Voice actors happened.
It's definitely not my fault.
Thank the mother we managed to keep those sisters safe. Come now. We'll gain nothing by lingering. Wait! We didn't get to properly... and they're gone.
Alright, so we're going to want to actually double back to Zofia Harbor. This is a rare moment where it's actually a good idea, because if you don't do that, you're not recruiting Paula and Katria, and you're going to want them.
Oh, good. I was hoping we'd find you. You really saved us back on the coast. We've managed to dig up some additional information since then. Turns out our sister S is being held by a thief named Greith. Your strength is beyond reproach. That much is certain. If you're headed to Greith's Citadel, perhaps you'd let us join you?
I see my sister is traveling with you. That's wonderful. I trust it's all right if I accompany you as well?
Now, there are some side questy things we can do in this region as well, which is also why we're back. Also, dang, Royal Chef, that's a pretty big fuck-up. A Dagon, you say? Well, there's no fishing minigame in Echoes. Or is there? No, there isn't. There's no fishing minigame. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. What's more important than doing this right now?
So Dagon is a Middle Eastern god of crop fertility, among other things. Have you seen a picture of what Dagon looks like?
I don't believe I have, no.
The path to Zofia Castle was blocked during that big earthquake that hit. Sorry to rain on your thatch, but there's nothing for it.
There are many, but I'm going to send you one because I demand you put this into the video.
Alright.
This is the guy we're looking for. We gotta catch
Alright,
him.
that motherfucker.
We're gonna kill him and serve him to the king.
If you see this man, it's on sight. We also have the ability to finish this side quest now. We can make cookies.
This guy shows up in South Vietnam and with a fish hook and a bowl of rice ready to catch him.
Alright, well, here's Lord Fugu. Lord Fug?
Are you Fugu or Fugue?
Lord Fug and a Fugue?
You're spelled Fugue, but that's only if people know how to spell Fugue. Also, it's a name, so it doesn't have to follow standard pronunciation rules.
I mean, I guess Lord Fugue does fit his situation, but like, I don't know, that just seems like a terrible thing to name your family. Like, your family name should not be fitting, or you are in dire straits, my friend. You are not in a good position. Alright, we gotta get the Fugue shield from Greith. Fugues are known for our generosity. Anyway, I'm gonna cry in this corner. Oh, and what do you know? This skilled angler is actually the guy we saved. Well, thankfully, since we eventually gave him the correct food, he'll fight Dagon for us. Alright, we gotta kill this man and get his meat.
I should be clear, there are multiple depictions of Dagon. That was just... And that was the only one I saw that looked even remotely human. He was just so fucking funny to me. Like, this is who we're looking for. This is the fish we want.
We're gonna have to get his ass. But we are going to need a very good line in order to do that, so we'll have to wait on that one. So for the time being, a guy got summoned to the north there. He's gonna be a pain. He's also going to move downwards. So let's hope he doesn't move when we do this. Alright, here's a normal-ass skirmish.
Oh, great. Another graveyard filled with even more terrors.
Oh, grow a spine already. So what if those guys sprout up like weeds? It's perfect target practice. After this little warm-up, we can storm the Temple of Mila with spells blazing.
Why would we want to storm the temple?
It's gonna be a while till we go to the Temple of Mila. Alright, so... Oh, hey, yeah, future me, Paula, Katria, explained them. It's time for some Pegasus Nights. Celica's first, if you don't have the DLC. That being said, we're starting with Paula, who, despite being the eldest of the White Wings, is not really your typical Pegasus Knight. She's honestly just your typical physical class, except she flies. She hits hard, and she will probably hit, and she's got a really solid defense for a Pegasus Knight. Usually that's one of the Pegasus Knight's weaker stats, but here, yeah, no, Paula's got it good. I'd say if anything gets in her way, it would be her lack of speed. While Paula can survive pretty well, she's not very fast, and so while she hits hard, she probably won't be doubling, which is really unusual amongst Pegasus Knights. Worse off, her starting weapon, the Javelin, does give her an advantage in range. It allows her to attack from 2 spaces away, but it lowers her speed even further. Paula's got a few growing pains. She will eventually be extremely powerful, but early on, not being able to double really doesn't do her any favors, and if you're not careful, she might fall behind. If she doesn't fall behind, however, yeah, no, she's a powerhouse. And whether or not you keep that javelin is up to you. Again, range is very helpful, but maybe you don't want her to get wailed on if people do reach her. And our other new character is Katria. So, Katria does work a little more like your average Pegasus Knight. She's not the strongest, but she's very fast and has high skill. Of course, this being Fire Emblem Echoes, she doesn't have much in the way of resistance growth. It's only 2%, so she's gonna coast off of her base stat for most of the game, unless you get particularly lucky. Or, you know, just use stat boosters. Either way, though, special attention should be given to her luck in addition to her skill. Now, her skill already being good makes her great for crits. Her luck makes it so she won't get crit, and also will continue critting. Now, her skill growth rate is better than her luck growth rates, so she is weighted more towards skill in the long run. However, Katria has, well, just a better item than Paula. Paula's item has drawbacks. Katria's does not. She starts with the Angel Ring. Now, the Angel Ring, being a ring, will heal Katria every turn. So, you know, that's just flat out good. And again, no drawbacks. There's no catch to the healing. She doesn't get any stats taken away by wearing the Angel Ring. Instead, this ring grants her 20 luck. So while she will have a better skill growth rate, her luck is always going to be just phenomenal. Unless you remove the Angel Ring and give it to somebody else. I mean, you could, if you think they need it, but it's on Katria. If you want to keep it on Katria, she's just going to be Crit City for the rest of the game. Paula just has raw strength, but Katria's just going to crit all day, every day. And considering she will be able to double in most circumstances, who is the more powerful between the two? Thank you. Alright, so we've got another graveyard map, but in this one, our units are spread very far. We've got them kind of just lining the bottom area here. This area is pretty simple and it's not a particularly hard fight. That guy that got summoned and moves around the map can wind up on this space on the map. And indeed, if another character joins a map space, then you do have to fight both parties, so if that happens, we would have to fight mages here as well.
Challenge run.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. It's an extra distraction. Actually, no, these guys are the distraction. The mages are the actually challenging ones.
You keep grouping your characters by tactical effectiveness and not by character relations, and it's fucking with me. Stop separating Valbar, Kamui, and Leon. They need to be together.
Well, look. At the very least, I'm sure Leon doesn't want Kamui there. He wants Valbar all to himself. Honestly, between the two of them, I think Katria is actually a bit better than Paula. You could probably give Paula a different weapon other than the javelin, but I think range is kind of her advantage at the moment. Meanwhile, Katria's just got the angel ring, so she crits and she heals. She's not the most tanky character, but she can refresh herself, so she's actually decent at surviving. I don't remember growth rates off the top of my head, but I feel like Paula is better in New Mystery of the Emblem than she is in this game. Because in New Mystery of the Emblem, she's vicious. She's probably one of the best flying characters in the game. Like, I usually used to wind up more with Seda in my party because, you know, Marth's fiancé and all, but like, when I used Paula, she kind of just destroyed everyone.
Pegasus Knights are one of the classes I have a hard time using for some reason.
Weird.
I'd call that a perfect victory.
I guess they are more delicate than other classes.
Yeah, they have low damage and low HP, so I have a tendency to fuck myself with them a little too often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, personally, I have always been the Myrmidon user, so like, fast, critty characters have always been my wheelhouse. Speaking of which, here's Kamui.
My hometown? Doesn't matter. It's gone now. I used to be a shepherd, a nomad. Me and my whole family. But another tribe edged us out of the market, so we moved to the city. Still, it feels weird to stay in one place for too long. So now, I'm a sellsword who straddles the world once more. That's why traveling with you has been so damn fun.
Is it true the Deliverance has retaken Sophia Castle? I worry if so. Oh, everyone talks of chasing out Desai and the Regelian Empire. But soon as they have to decide the next king, you know war will come again.
That Greith is a real piece of work. He gives the orders to every scoundrel and sneak thief in Sophia. He's attacked this village time and again, and taken all the young folk. There's not a man who would stand up to him, even when the king drew breath.
Alright, well, Celica, got anything, got anything to bring the mood up? Wow, this fence fucking sucks. Good luck, idiots.
Hey, careful, one of those two men built that fence. Yeah, he's following us.
Hello there. I'm a traveling peddler of sorts. If there's anything you might like delivered, just give me a shout. I'll see that your item gets to whoever the lucky lad or lass is.
To reach the Temple of Milla, cross the valley approach and continue north. The temple's more than just a place of worship for the goddess, you know. It also defends the sluice gate at the kingdom's border. However, the gate opens only to members of the Sophian royal family. With His Highness Lima IV gone, the sluice may lie closed forever.
you been to the dragon shrine north of the village? There's a well there whose waters are rumored to revive the dead. But alas, fearsome necro-dragons stand watch there, allowing none to pass.
Also, I love Fish Crazy Man. That's why they named it that way they did, I reckon. Love me a shieldfish. Hope you have a shieldfish.
Also, hi, my name is Celica. Do we want to try introducing ourselves first?
Oh god. No. Oh, I'm not going to fuck this shieldfish. Here's some Pegasus cheese.
Hey, do you remember that one episode of SpongeBob with the chocolate?
Ah, it's that guy. Shieldfish? Did you say shieldfish?
Yes, sir. Dried or fresh?
We're just gonna get to the final boss and he's gonna be there. Now that I've got you right where I want you, I'd like to buy all your shieldfish. God, Celica just goes everywhere and criticizes everything. No wonder she gets along so well with Alm. So this is also the town where we get introduced to the blacksmith on Celica's route. So once again, we can just thirst over the really hot blacksmith design that they made.
Welcome!
So because I didn't do any of the grinding maps with Celica, I do not have anywhere near as much money as Alm does. A little bit of grinding makes a lot of difference, actually, which I guess is nice. It's like if you're gonna pay for stuff, which it totally did, you might as well get a lot of resources out of it. Silver and especially gold marks in this game are hard to come by as it is. Experience is easy enough to get without having to go for DLC, but marks, yeah, no, you're gonna need these. Is also showing there that sometimes you can actually evolve weapons past just maxing out the stars they have. The Golden Dagger apparently has another form it can take, but we don't have enough money for that, so alas, nothing we can do about that there. But maybe someday.
The Golden Dagger that's slightly longer.
Yeah, as it stands, Saber's going to be incredibly powerful thanks to that Golden Dagger power-up, so yeah, he's gonna be fighting pretty well.
I was off fighting on the frontier until a short while ago. Came home to find my village in ruins, and my brother's taken by Greith. I want to tear that thief's head clean off his body! But I can't do it alone. Are you lot going to Greith's stronghold? If so, let me come and have my revenge.
Alright, terrible vengeance sounds great. Let's recruit him. So, Atlas, unless you picked up Cliff and Faye by leaving them behind as Alm, is Celica's villager. So, hey future me, you got another one to go over. So the first thing you need to know about Atlas is that he is probably the hardest villager to work with in the game. Not to say that the other villagers are full of endless possibility. I mean, look, most of them are extremely not good at mages. Tobin and Gray just cannot be expected to wield magic effectively. But, that being said, Atlas has a very limited stat spread. He's good at two things, HP and attack. Those are his things. He is a bag of blood that punches very good. His skill is okay. Everything else, no, not good. It's all bad. It's all real bad. It's evenly bad, but it's bad nonetheless. Believe it or not, though, he has actually improved over Gaiden. His growth rates were worse. So first off, a bit of a blessing and a curse, but Atlas starts at level 10, which means he is well in promotion territory. So you can just double back to a shrine and promote him, which would be the smart thing to do. However, there is a bit of a downside, though given the way Echoes works, it's not huge. His initial stat spread is garbage. This is what I would expect from a lower-leveled villager. I mean, again, he's real good at punching, but otherwise, his initial stats do not do him any favors. But again, advantage of Echoes is that whatever class you choose should have some boost for his terrible stats. Some of his stats will reach a threshold when you change classes. It's not quite enough to make Atlas amazing, though. Now, that being said, once you actually want to promote him, that's where I think the biggest trouble with him actually comes in. I can say from experience, Atlas is one of the few characters who has an unworkable class. In my first run, I made Atlas a Cavalier because, well, it filled a niche. Now, that would have been completely true in Fire Emblem Gaiden. Atlas is your only potential Cavalier. In this game, you might be able to guess, but we do have at least one Cavalier candidate. And if you really want to, pitchforks are an option, as long as you've got the DLC. However, I don't think he's a good Cavalier. Being he only has good attack, he's really not braced for just about any combination of enemies. While he does have a lot of HP, usually that's paired up with something good, but he doesn't have good defense or resistance, so if there's a large group of anything, Atlas really isn't good for it. He's basically just here to finish off a mob, not take it on. Believe me, he can't take on a mob, he cannot hold a choke point, but he can punch real good. Now, the horse might be tempting, because that does give him a lot of movement, and that is a potential advantage, but I really don't think it's worthwhile. I just did not have a good time with him as a Cavalier. He was, without a doubt, one of my worst units. And as you might be able to tell from his magic list, he doesn't make a good mage either, but that shouldn't be a surprise. He is the jockiest jock who ever jocked. What does he need books for? So that leaves him with the option of Mercenary and Archer. So you've got 1,000 mercenaries already. He does make an okay mercenary, though. That line does sort of pick up some of his flack, especially once you get to Dreadfighter. In fact, Dreadfighter actually helps him take on mages, because he can punch them real good and doesn't take as much punishment from them. But I think overall, Archer really is your best choice. It's not as redundant as the mercenaries, and he does have some competition from Leon, who I'm sure doesn't enjoy having competition, but we didn't ask for his opinion. Being an archer allows Atlas to stay away from the front lines, which, despite being able to punch good, is really where he wants to be. He can take on enemies from a distance, and not only that, there are so many good skills you can use. Like, combat skills really help Atlas perform well, and he should have the HP to use them, so pick up just about any bow and he'll do very well with it. It'll pick up just about any one of his shortcomings, from low skill or the enemy's ability to move. Special mention goes to the Killer Bow, which gives you Hunter's Volley. You won't see Atlas attack more than once most of the time. Hunter's Volley is a bit pricey on the HP, but very worth it. Atlas is not completely unworkable, but take it from me, he doesn't need a horse until he's mastered archery. He just really does not get any advantages in that class line, but Mercenary, and especially Archer, should work out well for him. Okay, there we go. Again, this is a thing I'm going to mention in the bio, but oh god, if there's a character who is not very good in this game, it's Atlas.
I am a little worried about Atlas. Somebody should let him know that if he's going to start a mission of revenge, he should dig 2 graves.
That's fucking stupid. I'm gonna kill way more than 2 people, idiot. But yeah, like, he's not the best character, but you know what? As long as he doesn't shrug, I'm fine with him. We've also got an equivalent side quest to Alm's Route. There's a little girl that got kidnapped on that one, and there's a young boy that got kidnapped on this one. We've also got a lumberjack. So, if you did not succumb to the temptation of picking up every single thing at the start of the game, you can do this easily enough by having Celica visit Ram Village, but this guy needs an axe. So, first item we'll need to transfer between parties, because Celica doesn't have an axe. What about leftover ale? Can you drink your troubles away? Not with a full ale, of course, just, you know, remnants. So we'll get to that in a sec. Are you gonna criticize that, or is that just an observation, Celica?
I don't think Celica knows the difference.
Yep, insulting the tree too. Wow, poor turnout for this orange tree, am I right? I'm gonna take this. Wow, I took like a third of the oranges.
The thing is, Celica didn't even grow up in a palace. Like, she grew up in a church for the most part. Why is she so used to things being better than this?
This one just sucks especially hard. Oh, hey, we've got a couple of characters to talk to.
I don't mean to pry, but I heard you and Celica had a fight. Well, don't feel bad. You've been apart a long time after all. You can't expect Celica to understand what's going through your head. Only someone who's been with you the whole time could ever truly understand. Someone who knows you so well she thinks exactly as you do. Someone who would do whatever you'd ask. If only you would. Those are the sort of friends you need to keep close.
What's this about a fight with Celica? You were so close when we were young. You never fought once. Well, regardless, I'm sure there was a reason for it. Celica was never mean, but she could be standoffish. You could always tell she was keeping something bottled up. Well, yes, I suppose I do the same thing from time to time. But when you think about it, it's kind of selfish. To keep another's secret is a sign of strength and trust. But when we hold our own secrets in, we're only judging everyone else. You can never understand, we think. It's sad, but it's what we do.
Cliff out here talking about being selfish when his right shoulder has 2 shoulder pads.
But is he selfish for everybody else, or just his left shoulder? Both. It's both situations.
Fuck, that was his left shoulder. It's my right. That fucked up.
Just give me a name, and I'll see they receive it with all speed.
Alright, so I've got the sense that Celica needs this axe, so could you just give that to her? It's all the way past all of my food. Where is that in this bag? Ow! Here it is.
A little pro tip to our viewers at home: if you break up with somebody, don't send them an axe in the mail.
Thankfully, this is for a side quest, and she'll just immediately understand and won't ask questions. So anyway, while we're completing the side quest, I should also mention, do not go north. Oh, hey, Katria.
If I had to describe my sister Est in a word, it'd be free. Which is ironic. When the last war ended, she left the Order of Knights the next day. Said she was opening a shop with some boy she was fond of. She does what she wants and says what she wants, and damn the consequences. There are times I envy her.
Yeah, so she has a relationship with Abel from the first game. Shrug.
I mean, I'd comment on the lack of chemistry, but it is Fire Emblem 1.
So anyway, yeah, as I was saying before, Katrio's a new conversation. Do not go north towards the Temple of Mila, because Atlas, Paula, and Katria all want to kick Greith's ass, and if you start going the wrong way, they're just going to leave. You can pick them back up by going back to their respective towns. However, if you keep going and reach the Temple of Mila, yeah, you're probably not going to win that fight. You will probably not have enough characters and experience to do that one. Trust me, I've tried. It's not easy. You can probably do it with a bit of grinding, but I would not suggest it. Regardless, though, we're not going to be doing that next time. Celica next time will be heading out towards Greith, but we'll be catching up with Alm on the next episode of Fire Emblem Echoes.